course, our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcasts, digital exclusive content, contests, and more. Go to NBCPalmSprings.com. Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
I'm Tiani Jadling, and I'm a Coachella Valley native. I was born and raised right here in Palm Springs. Connecting with the people in the Coachella Valley and telling their stories is an honor and a privilege. I'm connecting the Valley at NBC Palm Springs.
Now on NBC Palm Springs at 6, the Palm Springs Pride event may be receiving some more funding. We have details on what the City Council will vote on and when.
Also tonight, we're speaking to SoCal Edison customers about the 13% increase on their bill and their frustrations. That's coming up.
Look at the beautiful sunset right now, but the temperatures will continue to go up. How hot will it get? I'll let you know. NBC Palm Springs at 6 begins now.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. The city of Palm Springs is considering supporting Palm Springs Pride with more funding. That's tonight's top story. At Wednesday's city council meeting, city officials will vote on raising funding from $125,000 to $350,000 per year through 2027. Our Brett Rosen has the story.
Palm Springs Pride is just 3.5 weeks away, an event that, according to the city, brings in more than 200,000 visitors. And now, in a recent request from the Greater Palm Springs Pride, there will be a city council meeting on Wednesday for increased funding from the city through 2027, an increase that will see a number of $125,000 jump to $350,000. We at NBC Palm Springs reached out to the city, and they said in a statement in part, quote, "This item is going before council to consider updating the agreement so that it aligns with the resources necessary to produce the weekend of festivities with the goal of ensuring a safe, enjoyable, and well-organized event for everyone." Palm Springs City Council member Jeffrey Bernstein says the vote for increased funding will be for safety.
This is for in-kind services of city efforts. So public safety, our fire, our police, security, barricades, things like that.
In the same statement from the city, it points out how Mayor Ron DeHart is recused from the vote. This would be due to his ties as he is the CEO of Greater Palm Springs Pride. When asked about whether or not there is a power dynamic with the mayor behind the organization that's asking for the increased funding, Bernstein says because of the revenue Pride brings in, it didn't matter who was the CEO behind the organization.
I don't think it's really an issue, and I think we can have this in discussion. But the truth is that if anyone were doing this event, I think the city would be equally concerned about the safety of our residents and our visitors.
When reaching out to the city clerk about the timeline of when the request was made and when it was brought to the public, they said in part, quote, "All items on the agenda were posted and noticed to the public as usual on Thursday, October 16th at approximately 7:36 p.m., well within the 72 hours as required by state statute." End quote. Again, this vote for raised funds will be this Wednesday at Palm Springs City Hall. I'm Brett Rosen, NBC, Palm Springs.
All right, our thanks to Brett for that. A chaotic scene unfolded in Indio earlier today. Police shut down a portion of Highway 111 after a vandalism report turned into a 6-hour-long standoff. According to police, it all started just before 9 o'clock this morning. That's when officers responded to a report of vandalism at the Riverside County District Attorney's office in Indio. Investigators say a witness followed the suspect to a second location where he continued damaging property before climbing onto the roof of the Sunline bus building. Desert Regional SWAT team responded to the scene to assist in the arrest, and Indio police officers flew a drone over the scene to track the suspect's location.
It required multiple officers at this location due to the road closures and setting up a perimeter around the building where he was located. Flashbangs were deployed, but not intended to hit the person. They were used more for a distraction while they made the approach to take him into custody.
Police tell us the male suspect was wanted for vandalism, assault with a deadly weapon, and had an outstanding felony warrant. Highway 111 has since reopened.
There are dozens of unsolved homicides across the Coachella Valley, and that's the focus of my new special report, which airs tomorrow night. In it, we speak to victims, families, and investigators of 3 unsolved murders, including the death of Edward Snyder, a Palm Desert husband and father who went out for his nightly walk and was shot to death in his own neighborhood.
My thought is like, let's go drive where I know his route. So this is where I went. I went Kentucky straight. Then I see all the cops, like all the lights.
Most neighborhoods have some problems. We have some vandalism prior to all this. But is this a trend? Who's next? So yeah, it was edgy for quite a while.
Who killed Edward Snyder and what did neighbors hear that night? We'll look into those details and the 2 other local cases tomorrow night, just around 9:30, right after NBA's doubleheader tip-off, Coachella Valley Cold Cases, only on NBC Palm Springs.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Let's take a break from the headlines, get a check of the forecast. Live pictures right here. Gorgeous shot of the sunset from our Agua Caliente casino camera. High above there in Rancho Mirage, we're going to send things over to Pablo Alsina. And Pablo, we were talking about at the start of week 3.
Week 3 for me, and the temperature's finally higher than normal. My first 2 weeks here, we were cooler than normal. I like that. Now we're back up to those 90s. Right now, 91 degrees in Palm Springs, but I love 12% humidity, so it's not messing up my hair at all because it's dry weather. It's gorgeous, but it is 91 degrees and not much wind, just 6 miles an hour at the current moment. Temperatures, if we go up to the high desert, you're going to see 29 Palms at 78 degrees. Yucca Valley at 73. Joshua Tree also at 73. Down here, we have Palm Springs at 91. They're going to go up to 94 tomorrow. Palm Desert at 83. Cabazon at 79 degrees. If you're going for a walk after watching us, of course, and the Rogan Report, 8 p.m., beautiful time to go for a walk, 75 degrees, 10 p.m., 73. Even at midnight, we're still going to be in the 70s when the last couple of days we were in the 50s at that time. 3-day comfort air forecast, Monday at 93. Tuesday should be the hottest day of the week at 94 degrees. Then a low pressure system will move in. It's going to bring some coolness, just 84 degrees on Wednesday. But after that, we're going to go back up again. But you'll have to wait for my full forecast to see the rest of the week. I'm Pablo Alsina. Let's go back over to Olivia and Mark.
Pablo, thank you. In more local news tonight, the JW Marriott is increasing the spookiness as we inch a little closer to Halloween by hosting spooktacular boat rides. Guests and locals are invited to this thrilling cruise. It features, as you see there, some eerie lighting, a costumed crew, haunting melodies, lots of decorations. The boat ride is 25 minutes and it's available October 24th, 25th, and the 31st. This runs from 6 to 10. If you'd like to book your reservation, you can head to the newsroom tab of our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Students from Desert Mirage High School took part in a career exploration day over at the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens today. It connected STEAM and biodiversity education to real-world careers in conservation and animal services to prepare students for secure jobs in the Coachella Valley. We spoke to some of those students and organizers as well about the benefits of today.
I want to be a teacher, so it actually influenced me to do more on that. I didn't know we can educate people here on the zoo, so I feel like it was something nice to know about and something to keep in mind and just like explore new things.
It gives them the opportunity to see themselves in those roles, to explore their passions, what they like to do, and see that everything that they enjoy doing can actually have a career in conservation. So I think that's pretty cool.
Next Monday, they'll work alongside Living Desert professionals and the Walt Disney conservation experts to build what are called pollinator pods. If you want to be a part of the action, there's Teen program is currently accepting applications for the school year.
With the federal government shutdown now stretching into its third week, we're starting to see ripple effects beyond Washington, D.C. Here in the Coachella Valley, one nonprofit that works closely with federal land says it's feeling the impact. Our Alondra Campos has details.
Friends of the Desert Mountains has long partnered with the federal government to deliver nature education and conservation programs on the Santa Rosa and San Jacinto Mountains National Monument. But with the shutdown forcing federal offices and visitor centers to close, their staff had no choice but to pack their things.
Once we found out that we would be locked out of our offices, we started preparing. We made sure our computers are programmed to work from home. We got a storage facility, stored all of our materials for our educational programs so we can continue serving the community here with our environmental education.
Programs such as bird walks, tortoise talks, and volunteer training sessions are on hold or being reworked.
Right now, we are having some issues here. Our programs at the visitor center we won't be able to do because they're on federal land. Our gift shop is closed, so that reduces some of the revenues coming in.
The Friends of the Desert Mountains provide a range of free and low-cost nature education services, including field trips for students, interpretive hikes, and volunteer opportunities that help preserve our local desert landscapes. However, because their offices are located on federal land, the nonprofit was required to clear the premises, relocating staff on October 2nd. Still, the organization is adapting, exploring alternate ways to continue providing their resources to the community.
We have in November, we'll be starting up our Coachella Valley Unified School District trips with their ACES program. So we are ready for that. We have stored all of our supplies and we're ready to keep on going. We hope that there's a solution sooner than later for these offices to be opened back up, and so we can continue moving forward. We do have one of our largest annual event coming up on November 12th, and so we have a lot of organizing and working to do for that, so it would really be beneficial if we had these offices.
Organizers are now urging community members to visit their webpage in order to stay updated with the community events.
But we're also ready to, pivot and make whatever changes we need to make sure that we continue our programs, continue our fundraising, and are able to provide this educational opportunities for people of all ages in the Coachella Valley.
For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
New at 6 o'clock tonight, many Southern California Edison customers say they're fuming over a 13% rate increase on their monthly electric bill. This price hike went into effect on October 1st, but customers tell us they weren't notified until yesterday. Our digital reporter Thalia Hayden spoke with Valley residents who tell us they feel helpless.
Unbelievable. We pay so much now.
Did you know that on October 1st, Southern California raised your electric bill?
I did not know that, no.
Either by email or through one of the chats online yesterday.
They just told you, but then again, it went into effect October 1st, so they didn't even warn you.
No.
How do you feel about that?
Well, not good. They're up. I think everything's going up. Yeah, water going up, trash is going up.
My kids, I think they're adults. They have their own apartments. It's really hard.
So do you think if they would have notified people earlier, that would have made any difference?
It wouldn't have made any difference that we're going to have to pay it, but it would have made a difference so you could budget better.
What are you going to do, stop taking electricity? I mean, I think you got no choice.
Yeah, there is nothing I can do about it.
I guess we just have to pay it. I mean, I don't know what the alternative is to that.
Yeah.
We can write, we can go to a city council, we can go to government, but it doesn't look like it helps that much.
Right.
Well, life's like that. Roll with it.
I'm your digital reporter, Thalia Hayden, with NBC Palm Springs.
We've reached out to the California Public Utilities Commission, who says last month they approved roughly $4.4 billion less than Southern California Edison had requested. We've reached out to SCE. We're still waiting tonight for a response.
Coming up next on NBC Palm Springs, the Supreme Court will meet to discuss if a new federal law about gun ownership violates Second Amendment rights. We've got details on the case right after the break.
Also, local pickleball team climbs their way to the top after their tournament in Seattle this weekend. We've got more on their accomplishments. That's coming up.
And a quick look at your gold and silver prices to kick off the work week. Stay with us. Those headlines and more in just a few minutes.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcasts. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Welcome back. The Supreme Court agreed to hear a case today on whether a federal law barring certain drug users from owning guns violates the Second Amendment.
The appeal is a rare instance of the Trump administration defending a gun prohibition, which it described as a narrow limitation on gun rights. This case centers on a man's 2023 indictment on one count of violating the guns and drugs law. The FBI said it found a 9mm pistol, 60 grams of marijuana, and 4.7 grams of cocaine at his family home. Federal District Court dismissed the charge, citing a landmark 2022 Supreme Court decision expanding gun rights. The government told the High Court the prosecution rested on the man's habitual use of marijuana.
The maker of Tylenol is pushing back on a proposed change to the product's safety label. Kevnu says the FDA should not change Tylenol's label to reflect possible connections between use during pregnancy and diagnosis of autism in children. The company stated the revisions would be arbitrary, capricious, and contrary to law. The statement comes after President Donald Trump encouraged pregnant women to stop taking the product last month.
Some news around the region. Explosive ordnance fired from Camp Pendleton Saturday detonated prematurely over the 5 freeway, causing shrapnel to hit a CHP vehicle. The live ammunition training exercise was part of the Marine Corps' 250th anniversary celebration. Vice President J.D. Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth both attended. Traffic on the 5 was stopped during the exercise. No one was hurt. CHP says the Marine Corps was immediately notified and no additional live ordnance was fired over the freeway.
We've got a live look outside for you now. Our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Pablo Alcida's in right after the break with a look at your 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBC.
I am Pablo Alcina. Look at the absolutely gorgeous colors in the sky. Little pinks, little blues, absolutely no clouds. It's been very dry climate all day long. Temperatures getting hot, but you can't complain because no humidity, not muggy at all. But yes, 3 degrees hotter than normal. Normally at 90. Today we reached 93 degrees. But look at that, 108 back in 2023. I don't want to see 100 degrees for a long, long time. Checking out the dew points, just at 36. So that's very comfortable, not muggy at all. And the temperatures only dropping down to 75 by 11 o'clock at night. Last couple of days at 11 o'clock at night, we were in the 50s. A little bit different now. It's going to get even hotter tomorrow. The winds, 7 miles an hour in Palm Springs, 12 miles an hour. Strongest wind gusts are in Banning, Idlewild, with wind gusts of 10 miles an hour. Looking at the high temperatures we saw today, 93 in Palm Springs, Thousand Palms, 91 degrees. Our friends at Indio with highs of 92. Cabazon at 85 in Big Bear City, highs of 68 degrees. And just a couple of days ago, they were getting snow in their mountains. Low temperatures you'll feel tonight, 65 degrees in Palm Springs. And with the moon hardly able to be seen, the stars are going to be shining. It's going to be gorgeous. So go outside for a walk and look up to the stars because it's more beautiful than looking down at your phone all night long. Get that exercise in. Thousand Palms, 61 degrees. The low, 29 Palms, 55 for their low. Our 7-day comfort air forecast, Monday 93, Tuesday the hottest day of the week at 94. But look at this, Wednesday dropping 10 degrees because of a low pressure system at 84, then back up to the 90s. But again, no clouds, no rain, perfectly clear, and no humidity. But yes, we're back into the 90s.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. Be sure not to miss anything. If you're only watching us on TV, you're only getting part of the story. Head to our new website for the latest broadcast. And now, NBC Palm Springs Sports with Caitlin Kelly, powered by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, welcome back. It was a championship weekend for the Coachella Valley Scorpions pickleball team. The team traveled up to Seattle for the weekend to compete in the National Pickleball League Championship Tournament. And they got all the way to the championship match against hometown favorites and #1 nationally ranked Seattle Tsunami.
Championship point. Second time. Ooh, that's just that's it. Coachella Valley, the Scorpions are your 2025 National Pickleball League champions.
It was with that killer ace, the Scorpions won the match and officially won the NPL title. The team was also awarded $50,000 for the victory. And in hockey news, the Coachella Valley Firebirds hit the ice yesterday against the Bakersfield Condors. Firebirds would start hot and score 3 goals in the first period to go ahead early, but the Condors would come roaring back. Regulation gameplay would end in a 4-4 tie and send the game to overtime, where the Condors would score, handing the Firebirds a tough 5-4 loss. And just in case you missed it, another episode of Firebirds Off the Ice aired yesterday. The show, which is of course hosted by our very own Tim O'Brien, gives Firebirds fans a chance to peek behind the scenes and see the interworkings of all things Firebirds. You can watch the last night's episode of Firebirds Off the Ice on NBC Palm Springs website. Just look for the Off the Ice tab. That'll do it in sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Netflix is coming out with a new drama series titled Kennedy. The upcoming show is based off the book JFK, Coming of the Age in the American Century, 1917 through 1956. The story will explore the triumphs and tragedies of the Kennedy family. Netflix says the series will begin decades before John F. Kennedy occupied the White House. Season 1 will start in the 1930s to showcase the start of Joe and Rose Kennedy's life with their 9 children. The series will star actor Michael Fassbender as Joe Kennedy Sr. A release date has not yet been announced.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
There's a new furry primate coming to the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens. It's called the Patis monkey. They're joining the zoo starting November 1st. These monkeys are known for what you see right there, that signature mustache that they have. The Living Desert is now the only place in Southern California that you can meet these mustached ambassadors. This is very fun. It's the first primate for the Living Desert. I know they are really looking forward to showing these off to all the guests.
Was this part of that contest?
Yeah, I guess so you had to guess what was coming.
We had to guess what the animal was coming, so
yeah.
I guess that's what it was.
I thought it was the new Skims panties.
I don't know. He's got a killer beard, though.
Yeah.
Great facial hair.
There you go.
You could say that. All right, that's going to do it for us. We're back here for the news at 11. Please join us for that. Meantime, we're going to send things over to our Fred Rogan tonight. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. Some say Jesus could walk on water, and apparently he can walk faster than Olympic swimmers can swim. What's real? What's not? We'll try to figure it out. Welcome to the start of a new week. Do you take any kind of medication? To be honest, I do for blood pressure, and if I don't have it, it's a problem. Now, whether I should be taking the medication is another story. It is what it is. But I want you to meet someone who has been taking medicine. That medicine is keeping him alive. Without that medicine, he's going to die. But now the insurance company who has been paying suddenly changed its mind and he can't afford the medicine. We welcome Phil and his wife Cheryl to the show. Cheryl, we appreciate you being on the program tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you told me a story Friday and it broke my heart. It involves your husband. Just pick up the story, go.
Yeah. Well, my husband has been diagnosed with a disease called Guillain-Barré, and he's in end stage, which is CIDP. That means that his muscles are basically eating themselves.
Okay.
He's in an experimental study because there's nothing else that can be done for him.
Okay.
In the general medical field, we're in an experimental treatment for one of the most 100 rare diseases in America.
Okay, now he was getting treatment for this, correct? Medication?
Yes, he's still getting treatment through the end of December.
Right.
And it's called IVIG. We have a home nurse that comes over to the house every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And spends 8 hours a day with him, giving him this infusion.
Now, he absolutely needs this, correct?
Oh, he will not. This is prolonging his life.
Very good.
And he's very sharp.
And insurance was paying for this, right?
The drugs are very expensive.
Right.
It's about $70,000 for a treatment, which is 4 days of treatment. I got a letter from United Healthcare last Wednesday that told me the plan I am currently in has been dropped and they're putting me into a different Medicare plan for next year if I so choose. Now, that plan, along with all the other plans that I have looked at, do not cover the drug Ananza at all.
The plan changes, and now you have a copay of anywhere between $238,000 and...
No, $238 million.
So now you get a form from the insurance company that says your copay is now $238 million.
Yes.
So United Health had you covered, everything was fine. United Health then sends you a letter and says, whatever you were in, whatever program you were in, has been discontinued.
Yes.
And therefore, we're going to put you in this new plan. But the new plan doesn't cover what the old plan did. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yes.
They tell you that despite the fact you've been with us, we're putting you in a different plan. Yours has been discontinued. And for you to be able to afford this, you need to sell your house, sell everything you have, and basically take out a $1 million loan just to get your medicine for the next 6 months. I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's what we got to do. First of all, that's awful. Shame on United Health. Shame on them. That is awful. They can't pull the plug. That is inhumane. It is cruel. And it is not what insurance is supposed to do. So thank you. Thank you both for sharing this. Phil, our fingers are crossed. We're going to work on this, starting tonight. And we'll keep both of you posted, okay? You guys have good thoughts, and we're going to work on it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Rosen.
Okay.
Can you believe that? The story's beyond troubling. It's criminal. A man is being kept alive thanks to an experimental drug that was covered by United Health. Without it, he's going to die. It bears repeating, it was covered until United Health discontinued that plan. In the new plan, the copay could be $238 million. It doesn't appear any other health plan will cover this experimental treatment, but United Health did. To take that away is sentencing him to die by telling them their copay is now $238 million. It's not only insensitive, it's downright cruel. We reached out to United Healthcare. They asked for the plan attachment, which we sent. Then they said they would have their consumer affairs team review it. Our contributors tonight, filmmaker Paul Scott and the CEO of FG Creative, Stephanie Green. Paul, what do you think when you hear that?
It's murder. It's murder. I mean, what they're doing is killing this man. And, only the former CEO of United Healthcare, who unfortunately was also murdered, could afford something like that. $200 million as a copay? It's insane. It's murder. That's what I think anyway.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. This sounds like a very rare situation in terms of that kind of money. And my heart goes out to these people. But the insurance business is broken. It's all for them and not so much for the people they help. And they do better just helping normal people who need a few medications per year. And in cases like this, they always seem to come out on this side of it. And I wouldn't know how to even start to fix it. But absolutely, my heart is broken for these people. That sounds awful.
All right, so the medicine is keeping Phil alive, Stephanie, and they've already been paying for it. Should they be allowed to stop?
Well, I think, and again, it's not my world, so I don't know much about it. But, when you pay your $1,000 a month, whatever your payment is, it's to cover some catastrophic, but catastrophic is never up into these numbers. So I don't know how insurance companies look at $70,000 a month drug treatments. So it is criminal. I agree this doesn't sound right, but I wouldn't know how to approach them to see if it's a mistake or it could be fixed.
All right, can you tell the difference between something real and AI? Some things are obvious, some aren't. I'm going to show you 3 different clips. Do you think they're real? At any point, do you think they're real?
From the world of AI.
And they're off. Oh, my Jesus Christ, look at that.
Literally Jesus Christ.
He's halfway down the pool already. He's not even swimming. Touching the wall now. That's a
settling onto the beam now, looking composed in these warm-ups.
Oh, beam has snapped.
The center just gave way completely. Coach is diving out of the way. She's down on the mat.
All right, here we go. In the case of 8-week-old Midnight, you are not the father.
In the case of this 8-week-old brown puppy, you are not the father.
In the case of the 8-week-old brown puppy, oh boy, you are not the father.
From the world of AI.
All All right, if we had not told you those were generated by AI, would you have known? I mean, it might be easy to guess Jesus was not competing at the Olympics. The start of the gymnast looked real, and actually the dogs had me fooled till I watched it twice. Paul, do you think any of that was real at any point in time?
I'm sure that they had a dog on their camera or something at some point. I think the rest of it was just kind of, I had higher hopes for AI. This is really what we're doing with AI? I don't know. What do you think, Stephanie?
Well, I think these are just the ones that they're showing us. There is some really good AI out there that is very hard to tell the difference. I think these are more easy to tell because they're so outside of what would be normal that anyone could do. But it's frightening in a way that they can make ones like the dogs on the couch look pretty real. I think they did a decent job with it. And yeah, it scares me because I can't tell.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a little afraid of people just not believing in real footage. Because
exactly.
of the fact that AI could be so good. But, you know, the Jerry Springer thing. Ooh,
does it scare you at all that people can dream this stuff up and whip it up quickly, Paul?
No, it's what happens now. I mean, you could probably do that on your phone now. There's an app for it, I'm sure. You know, again, it's going to be a difficult thing as we move forward to filter out the truth from, you know, fake news as it really is fake news. I think it's going to be really, really difficult to figure that out as technology becomes more in the hands of everybody to do stuff like that.
Okay. Now something that seems rather odd, although according to Palm Springs Mayor Ron DeHart, there's nothing odd about this at all. After the terrorist attack in Palm Springs, Ron DeHart's nonprofit, Palm Springs Pride, raised money to help business owners impacted by the event, about $150,000. A little over $14,000 of that came from a drive-up event where people donated. Now, Ron told me the rest of that money came from other donors. So our reporter, Brett Rosen, had a question. Where did the money which was donated go? Seems like a fair question. Ron is operating a nonprofit which serves the public's interest. Problem is, Ron won't tell us where the money went. He says the people that received the money don't want anyone to know. They're embarrassed. Why would you be embarrassed if your business was affected by a terrorist attack? We talked to some people that work with nonprofits, and they believe this is odd. What's the secret? In the news release, Ron set out at the start of the fundraiser using the word transparency. Ron says it's not a secret, but where is the transparency? So anybody operating a nonprofit raising money doesn't have to tell the public where it goes. Ron runs a nonprofit, so he would know. You know something? You'll learn something new every day. Just remember, it doesn't take that much effort to be a good neighbor. Giovanna in Thousand Palms looking for a lawyer to help her with a car accident. Who can you recommend? Mark in Indio looking to head a new church, Christian yet non-denominational, upbeat, casual, with a message that relates to everyday life. Modern worship plus a band, where should he head? Brianna La Quinta needs to know if anybody has used Francis Morris of Morris Visitation Services before. Looking for feedback on their services. Ed in Palm Desert has a pool deck about 7,000, or I should say 700 square feet. Looking for someone to do a basic resurfacing there.
It may be hot in the desert, but what you think may singe our ears, singe away. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Looks like it's going to be a bad one.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
So I read a piece in the LA Times about what's ahead for flu and COVID-19 season in California. We should probably brace for impact. Last week, contributor Tammy Bleck let us know her experience. Now, the truth be told, you have COVID, correct?
I do, yes.
And thank you for doing the show. You did not have to do it. What has that been like, this new variant of COVID?
It's not awesome. I'll tell you that. What I did find out, and your viewers, I think, will well be known to do, is Paxlovid.
I did it in the past.
It's no longer covered by insurance. And when I went to get it without insurance, it was $745. So
that's absurd.
Beware.
That's ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
Boy, what are the symptoms this time? So if anybody's feeling it, they'll know.
I have no taste whatsoever, no smell. My ears are plugged up. So if I'm yelling, let me know. And a very mild fever and a terrible cough that hurts your ribs. So it's not glamorous.
I guess tonight we have a theme with insurance coverage or lack thereof. Last year was already pretty rough. Experts say this year could even be worse with flu and COVID cases on the rise. Health officials really concerned about how things are going to play out. They're using everyone to get vaccinated and stay vigilant. And while levels are low now, the last few years have shown how nasty flu seasons can get. Stephanie, what do you think about the predictions for this flu season?
I'm not a big fan of scare tactics and headlines when you don't have the facts yet. That it has been a lot lower than they thought over the years in reading that article, and they're speculating. So I don't love speculation. I think if everybody just does the best they can to try to stay healthy, we're all going to get sick throughout our lifetime, and you do what you can and get the medicine that you can and work with your doctors. And honestly, it comes down to, I think, staying as healthy as you can so that when you do get sick, it's mild. So I'm not personally that worried about it, but I know people are, and I know it can be awful. So I think everyone needs to do their own thing.
Paul.
I'm speechless. I cannot even believe how ridiculous this is, that Paxlovid is not covered. And she had a very sexy Brenda Vaccaro, voice to her. But I mean, that's a miserable sickness. It's completely unnecessary. And in terms of being prepared and keeping yourself healthy, that includes getting vaccinated. And also, I think, getting the flu shot. That's the best you can do, I guess, at this point. But just be sick? Just have no Paxlovid for anybody? $750?
I know. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Over
it's insane.
All right, over $500,000 in, and the contractor is nowhere to be seen.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing?
So here's the deal. You hire a contractor to update your classic home built in 1937. You pay him over $500,000. He begins demolition, nothing for months. You wait. Finally, you file a lawsuit and you find out this contractor has many other unhappy clients. Contractor files Chapter 7 bankruptcy, leaves the country. You don't know if he's back as the police work on gathering evidence to see if there are criminal charges to file. This happened to Howie Barocas and his wife. Howie joins us now. Appreciate you being here tonight. Welcome to the show.
Great. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to look into this.
All right. You're living a nightmare now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's not one that just we are living, but yeah, it is definitely not a great time.
Okay. Walk me through what happened.
We bought a house in Palm Springs 8 years ago, and it's a 1937, one of the original houses built in Little Tuscany when Little Tuscany was being developed.
Right, so you decide at some point, look, we got to update the house a little bit. I mean, it's built in 1937. There's some things we want to do, and you talked to who about that?
So I talked to Scott Collins. He came over, we looked at the house, talked about what our vision for the house was going to be, and we decided that, okay, he could do this, and he had time and the desire and wanted to help out, and we at that point decided to move forward with Scott in May of 24, and at that point we had paid him. It was an initial payment. It was a $50,000 consulting fee. The next payment to Scott after the $50,000 was in November. It was November 15th, and it was $298,000.
All right, so you're $340 in right now.
We are.
Okay,
right.
You're $340 in. The consulting fee for $50,000, the construction fee for $290,000. You're $340 in. You get out of the house by the end of December. Boots on the ground January 2nd, and here we go. So what happened?
Well, here we go, except there was also a payment on December 6th, and that payment on December 6th was $351,961.
So that's $360 and $290 plus $50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the justification for these payments, and at the time we were not aware that there is a law in California that you cannot, as a general contractor, you cannot collect more than $1,000, or I believe it's 10% of the overall project fee.
All right, but you're already $500,000 in.
But we are
more than $500,000 in.
We are.
Okay. So you're supposed to move in August. The house isn't even close to being ready. You paid for your own plumber, and now this guy is what, on the lam?
So we told Scott in our letter that if he did not provide the items that we wanted by a specific date, I think it was in with 3 or 4 days of the letter, we were going to file a lawsuit.
Did you file the lawsuit?
And we did file a lawsuit, yep.
Have they been able to serve him? Do they know where he's at?
After multiple attempts at his house trying to serve him, the process server calls his name, he looks at her and takes off running toward his house. And at that point, she was able to serve him with a lawsuit.
Okay, so where are we at as we sit right now, this second? Right now, this second, where are things?
Well, Scott has somehow moved all of his creditors from Palm Pacific, his business, and there's over 120 of them, to his personal, under his personal name. and then filed Chapter 7. So the house is gutted. We don't know where Scott is, and the police are working on multiple reports from multiple victims.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That pretty much sums it all up. You're not the only one.
No,
you're not the only one. And I know the police are working on it. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your story, and we're going to stay in on it as well.
Yeah. Thank you. It's there's a lot to it, and it's extremely frustrating. Yeah, and I hope he never has the chance to do this to anyone ever again.
All right. When we return, the Riddler checks in.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about
Hey guys, riddle me this. What can you hold in your left hand, but not in your right?
With temperatures rising, some suffer from excessive sweating.
Please towel off before writing the show.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea. And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
What can you hold in your left hand but not in your right? Your right elbow.
All right, you have a great evening, but remember, we never rest. NBC Palm Springs goes hard 24/7. Go to the website, click on programs. There you go, the Rogan Report. Content from our program tonight will be up there, and content from our past shows as well. Appreciate you watching. Have a terrific evening. Wheel of Fortune is next.